Okay, good afternoon. Today is March 29th, 2020. This again is Coronavirus Pandemic Terminator Talk series. And we had covered in video 18 up until slide number 112. So this is going to be again a short recap, and that was more of a joke about robbing a bank. That was never a serious consideration. But robbing a bank from inside can be profitable. That was based on savings and loan crisis and the crisis of tech boom, tech bust crisis, and also the 2008 market crisis observations. However, before going public, like I mentioned, I wanted to make all internal efforts. And I already mentioned that I had grown up into adulthood during the AIDS pandemic and had taken care of AIDS patients. And many of my scientific physician scientist colleagues have published elegant papers about SARS and MERS, which are also coronaviruses. And those epidemics happened in 2002 and later on around 2011, I believe. And they were able to, these are prestigious colleagues, they were able to get zero traction from pharmaceutical companies because the profit margin, these were small epidemics, and there wasn't enough profit to justify investing hundreds of millions of dollars. And that's a perfectly reasonable, justifiable thinking. And then, of course, in those kind of contingencies, government organizations like NIH, NIAID, etc., come to the funding. But those agencies, again, have to prioritize based on their limited resources, whether coronavirus or some other item gets priority. And clearly, coronaviruses of SARS and MERS did not get any priority. So that's kind of unfortunately how things work out. So we already talked about me sending an email to doctors Fauci, Redfield, Secretary Azar, Ben Carson, and this scientific model of 6 feet away from the coughing person, that thinking being developed in 1940s. And more coronavirus epidemics of SARS and MERS. So we have already talked that. And then this was the email that I sent. And I already mentioned my efforts to contact the Indiana State Governor, Indiana State Department of Health, Mayor of Indianapolis, and physician scientist advisors to the governor's office. And then I thought, all the universities in the state of Indiana, we have multiple universities, including Indiana University, Purdue University, Ball State University. And all of these universities have horrendously talented people in their midst. But all these universities have closed their doors, literally closed their doors, and sent all their students, undergraduate students, graduate students, and postgraduate students home to sit on their computers and do homework assignments. Those homework assignments are perfectly nice and legitimate. However, in the middle of a pandemic, we need to use the creative brains of all these people to come up with a reasonable solution. So I thought, let me try and call Dean of IU School of Medicine. Again, the response from there was zero. So I hand delivered that email that up in slide number 116, and the dean's office of IU School of Medicine was closed, and I gave it to the security guard to make sure to slide it under his door. Again, haven't heard back from it, and this was delivered, I believe, on March the 18th. And then again, and remember, I have a full-time job and a full-time practice, so I have to run during my lunch hours, because I can't go before because these buildings are closed, and after work these buildings are closed. So I have to go during lunch hour, and none of these buildings have parking nearby. So I have to park the car somewhere, take Ubers, and it's just horrendous kind of effort. And I was happy to do that. Then I thought, let me call deans and associate dean of Kelly School of Business to see if they can come up with some kind of business arrangement where we can bring PAPR, personal equipment, and hazmat suits to our healthcare workers and general public. And I'm not going to name the deans and the associate dean. You can look it up on Google. But I did uh, make an effort to hand deliver those letters and also to um, call them directly on their business lines. Of course, I don't have their personal numbers. Haven't heard back from them. Then I thought there is a university in Indianapolis called Indiana University, Purdue University at Indianapolis. Those are blended universities of the two big universities in the state of Indiana, Indiana University and Purdue University at Indianapolis. So I went to the School of Science over there, and again, same. I called them, left a message, haven't heard back, hand delivered the letter under the door, haven't heard back. So then I went to the Dean of School of Engineering and Technology at Indiana University, Purdue University. Again, called them, left a telephone number to call back, sent them emails, and hand delivered this copy, printed copy of this email. In this day and age, hardly anybody ever drops their name, telephone number with the MD behind it, hand delivers a printed letter, and again, haven't heard back. So then there's a huge university in the state of Indiana called Purdue University. It's a engineering and technology university, and they have a Purdue Research Park whose mission is to bring manufacturing jobs to Indiana. I've called them also, haven't heard anything back from them. And the president of Purdue University is our previous governor. And during his campaign days, his name is Mitch Daniels, President Mitch Daniels of Purdue University. He used to be popularly like to be called my man Mitch, and I have called him my man Mitch. I have volunteered for his campaign, and I have donated money to his campaign. So I thought surely I would be able to get some traction. So I called his office and explained to his secretary that we have the largest talent pool in the state of Indiana, engineering talent pool, science and technology talent pool in Purdue University, and we have all these students sitting at home doing homework assignments. Why don't we bring those people together and try to manufacture enough PAPRs and bring all these deans together to get funding? Never heard anything back. However, his secretary responded to me that President Mitch Daniels encourages me on my efforts and wants me to continue the good efforts. Well, I'm definitely impressed by his encouragement. However, I told her back that I don't need encouragement. I'm already plenty encouraged. I want President Mitch Daniels and the university to do something useful rather than locking their students, thousands of students, away from the university doing homework assignments during the middle of a pandemic. What we need is the talent pool of America to come and rescue the people, not sit at home and do homework assignments. Haven't heard anything back. So since I couldn't hear anything back from the politicians, from the health advising agencies, and the Indiana university, so I thought, let me make further efforts. So then I hired a biomedical engineer at my own expense to contact various manufacturers, including 3M and Chinese manufacturers, to see if they could manufacture PAPRs and personal protective equipment on our behalf, and we can become the intermediaries and sell them online. Unfortunately, the Chinese manufacturers, they have lag periods of somewhere from 3 to 12 weeks, and in 12 weeks, who knows where this pandemic is going to be. Then we tried to contact manufacturers in India. Again, the whole country of India on March 29th, 20 right now, today is shut down, so there is no manufacturing going on over there. Then I have a cousin in Toronto who is in solar energy, solar panel manufacturing kind of a business. So I contacted him and in the first go round, he had somewhat difficulty understanding on what I was trying to explain, but as of around March 26th, he has understood. and he has a talent scientific engineering pool in his company and is trying to see if we can try to manufacture our own equipment. However, his industrial base is not large enough, the kind we need to manufacture hundreds of millions of PAPRs. Then I have a cousin in Jalandhar in Punjab in India who already does plastic molding, and I contacted him, and he is very helpful and willing to help. However, his internal company doesn't have enough industrial technical scientific base, and we are trying to get industrial scientific base for his company so he would have the scientific specifications for these masks. But he's certainly willing to ramp up, but we haven't been able to make any progress because India also is shut down like this country. And then I have two cousins in Ludhiana, in Punjab, in India, who are in the dyeing, meaning coloring of wool business and blanket manufacturing. So again, they are willing to help out, but so far no solid progress. Then I have a cousin who has an accounting firm in Jalandhar, Punjab, in India, and he also is willing to help out to contact manufacturer, but again, no solid progress. And then I have my own accountant in Indianapolis, Indiana, whose in-laws are in plastic manufacturing business in Gujarat, India, where the President Trump had recently visited India and had gotten greeted by Namaste Trump. And my accountant is trying to contact his in-laws in plastic manufacturing to see if we can bring this product into mass manufacturing. But so far the progress unfortunately has been zero. Then I have a distant relative in the United States who is in mattress business, and most of their business is selling mattresses online. The name of their company is called Satwa Mattresses, and their address and telephone number is available. He was very helpful and was willing to help out in the IT part of the business because their business is largely IT part. And their manufacturing business of mattresses is far removed from what I was thinking, but he again is willing to help out, but again, no solid progress so far. So I think we are going to wind down. This tape has already been about 13 minutes long. So we are going to wind down at slide 120. And we'll catch up in a few minutes with the next. Oh, I got it.